First and foremost, it's about the different channels of marketing, because there are those businesses you find that they may thrive more on a particular channel of what marketing. So the way you see Solace, which channel do you, according to your observation in our nature of business, which channel do you look at and you say, okay, for starters, you people, maybe you concentrate on this, and then with time you can evolve to some other channels.
All right. So, just for better clarity, there are about 7 ways of driving actual sales to your business. Now, ironically, all of them work, but there are going to be some where it might be good for your industry, but you as a business may not be able to sustain it. So as an example, option number 1 is outbound. This is where you're picking phone calls and making phone calls. So there are people who are very comfortable, whereby even if you woke me up in the middle of the night and say, "Sir, I will do." Then the others will say, I call and people abuse me. From there they ask me where you got my number. So don't focus on what would work for us. I mean, what would work for this industry, but rather what would work for us. Because the moment you do for any of them, they always pay off. The second channel is inbound. This means you're creating content for Google, creating content for YouTube. There are some people who say, now I'm meant to go on TikTok and begin speaking. I won't manage. So that's why I say the first job is educate yourself on all the different options and how they work. Get as much detail as possible on how each of these options work. Then customize it and say, you know what, based on our case scenario, I believe this is 1, 2, and 3 would work best for us. I don't encourage any scenario where you have only one option. I always recommend, if you can do 3, do all of them, because there are going to be scenarios some days where you do all the dancing you want on TikTok and it refuses. Then the ad is the one to bring for you. Then there are going to be days where you run the ads and you say today Chitu says then the call works for you. So the goal is just understand what the 7 different options are. Then number 2, choose and say, for our case scenario, this is what will work for us. Because I don't even want you to hurry to say we want to do content. No, don't hurry, because you may not even be able to sustain it. There are guys who are honest with you and say, the way you look, my looks are, this is the internet. I can't also afford to hire someone. So, then there are ladies I talk to and the chick says, I call and people reject me. The guy will ask you, number and what is J1? Immediately you begin shivering. So customize it based on your experience. You can have one of the free options and another paid option. They work really well together. So just learn and see which options do I have and choose based on your case scenario, because what works for company 1 may not work for company number 2, regardless of if it's the best channel. But at the end of the day, the channels, I just look at them as, we know there are people who are available on Google, so how do we attract them? But at the same time, there are guys who are on TikTok as well, so how do we attract them? At the same time, there are people who are on YouTube, and the people who like YouTube may not like TikTok. So your job is just to choose and dissect and say, for our case, I believe this one is Muzuri, and the other case scenario, this one may not work for us. So even before you dive into the education of which one, first learn what are the options I have. Because you may want to do content and you can't, or that you don't have the resources available to do it well. Yeah, and all these channels, they only work when you do them well. Yeah.